welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Bet Podcast, Thursday edition, alongside DrewDelucchi. SternBets, I am the Prince of Picks. We have got a great show lined up for you guys today on this Thursday edition. Beautiful sunny Thursday morning here in Chicago. Full disclosure, guys, this one might be a little bit of a shorter show. We don't have as much action today in the sports landscape. Of course, we do have the NBA playoffs in action, the NHL playoffs as well. We've got a decent slate in the major leagues, but a relatively small slate on soccer. So we might be a little bit quicker getting you guys in and out today, but we'll see how it goes. But in any case, we'll be sure to give you our best bets, angles, and looks for all of those. Before we do that, if you guys can do us a favor, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to us. Give us a real quick rate, review, subscribes. Does wonders in helping us grow this channel and grow this community. And also, we have a brand new webpage, official webpage for the podcast. Follow us over on Twitter X at OnlyBets Podcast. We'd really appreciate that as we try to continue to grow this community for you all. So help us with that. We'd greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let me go and pass it over to Stern. Mr. Mosh, good morning on this beautiful Thursday morning. How's it going out there in Philly?
Oh, it's fantastic. The weather is nice. The weather really just makes everything come together and feels like we're starting to get into, baseball season. And boy, do we have some baseball today. I'm excited to get into it. I'm not sure how much of the show I'll be able to fully stay for here on Bring Your Kids to Work today, which is a lot of fun watching them run around and, make noise. But I'll be here for as long as I can. And honestly, I have a play in every single MLB game today, but we'll go over our best bets. But coming back from yesterday, I had quite a day. Angels first 5 money line win only, cash it. Yankees first 5 money line, cash it. Drake Baldwin home run plus 470, cash it. Magic Pistons under 218.5, cash it. And then the 3-leg half a unit parlay for plus 111 didn't come through, but that was quite a game by the Flyers. I was out last night and I got to watch them, and the bar was going crazy. I think it's pretty wild, the run that they've had, and I'm excited to see what they can do coming up. Yeah, a lot of exciting things to get to.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what's great about us being a team here is that when one of us has an off day, the other one is there to pick us up. So glad you had a great day. I had an off day yesterday for sure. We went 2-4 in my picks overall. The soccer plays didn't go the way that I expected them to in NBA. Both of those ended up being a dud for me. But we did hit on the MLS last night. We hit on Colorado double chance. We got that at plus 160. That ended up 0-0 final score. So we hit on that. And then we also hit on Inter Miami team total over 1.5. That was a sweat, but we got there in the end. So glad we cashed both of those out at least. And by the way, guys, the MLS was a ton of fun last night. Even if you're just a neutral, there were so many goals in the MLS last night. I thought it was a great advertisement for the league. As the league in general is just one of the more fun leagues to watch if you like goals, which everyone likes goals. So had a lot of fun watching those and doing some live bets as well. But we'll move on to today. But before we do that, Drew, let me bring you in. Good morning, brother. How's it going out there in Arizona in the Valley of the Sun, my childhood home state? How we doing this morning, bro?
Doing pretty good, I will say. And talking about a different state, my hometown, the Bay Area, we just officially won a series against the Dodgers, regardless what happens today. This is one of those things where the Giants, kind of just they've been establishing their dominance against the Dodgers. And this is a team, of course, that I know the NOS doesn't want to get going to the Giants once they figure things out. They have held the Giants to one run. The Dodgers to one run in the last 2 games. That sounds basically unheard of in Oracle Park, where we have actually been struggling in Oracle Park. We were 3-7 at that stadium going in, being swept by the Yankees, losing 3 out of 4 to the Yankees and winning 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. So the Giants are going for the sweep, and I don't think much people expected this. Now we have Logan Webb versus Glasnow, but I'm just so happy to beat the Dodgers. And how we beat the Dodgers, I'm the happiest man alive. I hate them more than anything. So, but I went 2-2 though yesterday. I should have been 3-1, but the Nationals decided the Nationals manager decided to gamble and bring Zach Littell, who had given up 8 runs in the 6th inning. So yeah.
I got to say that Max Fried play, though, 8 innings.
Yep.
Shutout. Unbelievable play.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I decided to I couldn't really post it, but I bet him live over 18 and a half outs too as well. And that cleared by a lot. He honestly could have finished the game. I know he had 100 pitches or whatever, but still though, like whenever I see Max Fried not go 6, it's positive regression time. And he had a chance in the second inning where the Red Sox could have really brought up his pitch count. He had second and third, and Max Fried had the red eyes and struck out the side. So he turned into Terminator.
Did I not say yesterday that
Yeah.
when the competition goes up, he brings the juice?
Oh,
I mean,
when he gets
that
mad,
is
it's scary.
Unbelievable.
You can tell he was mad. Yeah,
Mad Max.
indeed.
That's a good one.
The new Mad Max.
Yeah, right. All right, cool. Yeah, it's always it's always a good thing when you get bragging rights over the Dodgers, right? Or any of these or any of these blue bloods, right? Whether it's the Yankees or any other team that as always seems to be winning everything. It's always a good thing when your home team or your favorite team can have bragging rights over them. So shout out to the
I think the whole league
Giants.
is happy when the Dodgers lose.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. Because probably not going to lose too many games this season. So,
Well,
yeah,
I hope they don't win one or whatever it was, because I have their under on their season total.
Hey, the Giants are helping you.
There you go. Right. There you go. So you can be a Giants fan for a day. But in any case, all right. Well, since Stern has kind of a limited time frame here, why don't we just Stern, I'm gonna just pass it over to you so you can just go ahead and get through your bets just in case you might have to jet here in a little bit. So we'll start off with baseball, and what do you got for us in the majors?
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting action today. I'm actually going to be fading the Giants. I think that the Dodgers are going to come out to play today. So yeah, give me Tyler Glasnow, who really has looked fantastic, and he should be able to take care of the Giants, who rank 29th in runs per game, and that number actually is worse at home. To be fair, it's a good pitching environment. So, but Tyler Glasnow should be able to take care of business. And on the other side, my apologies, Drew, but Logan Webb has not looked like himself lately. He has a 20% whiff rate, a 52% hard hit rate, and with underwhelming metrics all around, I really have to think that the Dodgers are going to win at least one in this series. And then I'm going to parlay the Dodgers money line with the Yankees money line, because Boston has looked pathetic. And I mean, I know I'm a Yankee fan and I'm looking for that, but Cam Schlittler has looked like an absolute ace on the mound. And honestly, I'm going to keep backing him until proven otherwise. He has a 6% barrel rate, 34.5% strikeout rate. And we're going to be facing Peyton Tolle, I believe, not Brian Bayo, who was slated but was switched out late. I like the way the Yankees lineup is hitting. And anybody who doesn't have the strikeout rate to really prey on the Yankees' weaknesses, I'm just going to keep fading them. So plus 178 for the Dodgers money line and the Yankees money line together for a half unit seemed like really good value to me. How do you guys feel about this one?
Yeah, I would definitely say for the Yankees side of things, I love Yankees. I'm a big fan of Cam Schlittler. Actually, believe it or not, he's been getting because he grew up a big Red Sox fan. I don't ever condone this, but he's getting like death threats from Red Sox fans. So I think he's going to come out blazing. And it's not that it's one of those things. It's not his fault. He was drafted by the Yankees, and he's a Red Sox fan. It's kind of like when Jock Peterson was drafted by the Dodgers, and he was a Giants fan. So I like the Yankees there for that aspect of things. I just don't trust this Red Sox offense. They got dominated by Luis Hill, who hasn't been a great pitcher. I expect positive regression from Logan Webb when it comes to this, but you are definitely right. Tyler Glasnow has absolutely been lights out, and I expect the Dodgers bats to wake up. I don't expect much home runs because Webb is a ground ball pitcher. But I think this is one of those things where Logan Webb, I believe, will bounce back in a way. And this is not a pitcher the Dodgers want to face, I would believe, when it comes to getting out of a slump. But having Glass now, he can go 6 or 7 innings, kind of like what Shohei did and stuff, and a pitcher who has been absolutely dominating like Glasnow. I'm not going to say I'm hoping the Dodgers win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers win because I highly doubt they want to get swept by their rivals. Otherwise, their fans are going to hear it. Them losing to the Giants to the Dodgers is like the same thing Giants losing to the Dodgers. Is that you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose to your rival, and you don't want to get swept by a rival because bragging rights are a real thing.
Yeah, and notice how I didn't take the first 5 line. I did take the full game line. I don't disagree with you that Logan Webb does have some positive regression incoming. I just don't think it's necessarily, or hoping that it's today. I'm going to go straight into it, though, because I am limited in time, and I would like to be able to go if I need to. I'm going to head over to the Pirates Rangers. First 3 under 2.5 runs at -115. I love the early under here. Honestly, I'm looking at the slate. I like unders in a lot of these games. And you can ask me any questions, but I took the under in about 4 or 5 of these games overall. We're getting Pittsburgh here on the road. Now, they haven't been bad. They've been averaging 2.3 runs in the first 4 innings alone, but they're facing Jacob deGrom in his home stadium. Texas, on the other hand, is only averaging 0.71 runs in the first 4 innings. DeGrom's strikeout rate's 32% to a 36% hard hit rate in a pitching-friendly environment makes him really hard to go against. And Bubba Chandler is pitching for the Pirates here, and we've talked about him. He looked so much better on the mound last time out. I see his metrics dramatically improving. His ERA in the first time around the batting order this year, he is actually better than DeGrom, and we all know who DeGrom is. He's only allowed 2 runs, and opponents are averaging just 0.125 batting average against him. For comparison, DeGrom's opponents are batting 182 and have also allowed 2 runs. So getting the under 2.5 in the first 3 innings at -115 offered a lot of value. How do you guys feel about this?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Personally, I saw the first 5 was also under 4.5. Bubba Chandler has looked great. His only issue, like people haven't really been hitting him. His only issue is his walks. And the last game against a really good offensive team in the Rays, he did really well. And DeGrom, he has been off and on, but when he's off and on, it's usually after the 3rd inning. So I like it.
Sorry, kids were screaming. I really do like the under 2.5. I'm also going to take the first 3 under 2.5 in the Brewers Tigers game. Now, this one is a little bit juicier. It's -150, but you have Tariq Skubal on the mound at home. He has a 28% strikeout rate, 6.5% barrel rate against the Milwaukee club, slightly weaker on the road. And Brandon Sproat, who's pitching for Milwaukee, he's starting to find a rhythm here after a disastrous start and against decent lineups. His underlying metrics don't look that great, but they are also improving. Opponents are batting 240 in the first time around the order. Last year, that number drops to 100.100. And in 30 at-bats, he only gave up 1 run the first time around the order. So I expect positive regression from Sproat. Detroit at home does average 2.36 runs in the first 4 innings. Milwaukee's 2.09 on the road. But if you're going to give me Skubal on one side of this equation, I love the under. I also like the under in the full game, but first 3 under 2.5 is really where I wanted to lean to. Drew, how do you like this game?
I like it a lot. Sproat, his last 2 games has looked pretty good. He didn't pitch as many innings against the Nationals, but he did really well against the Blue Jays. The Tigers have not seen Sproat at all. I don't expect Skubal to give up any runs in the first 3 innings unless they get on base and they try to steal and stuff. So, yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it should be a really fun day all over the mound today. If you guys have any questions, I do have leans on the Braves. I like the Phillies, Padres today, White Sox, Arizona. I'm not touching because I don't know what in the world to expect from them. But I've pretty much gone to every single game. I lean Minnesota on the run line there against the Mets. I think getting the near even money on the road is a fair deal. I know that the Mets broke out of their 15-game or whatever losing streak, but I don't have a lot of faith in them to really keep it up against someone like Joe Ryan. Is there any other games that we kind of want to talk about before I get to my home run pick? Or you guys have to give your picks, eh?
Yeah, I'm good to give my pick. I only have like a couple picks because of the 9 game slate. But I'll go to the Diamondbacks White Sox game. I've been watching that because I have Diamondback TV, of course, along with all I can watch all MLB TVs, but I like to watch Diamondbacks, my wife's favorite team. Murakami has hit in five straight home runs in 5 straight games, and Colson Montgomery, I woke him up by speaking him to existence, has hit in 4 straight games. Yesterday they knocked up. Edward Rodriguez. That game was very high scoring. It was 7-11. Edward Rodriguez only lasted like 5 innings. And a person I like to target personally, and also the Diamondbacks announcers kind of called it out. 53% of the runs produced by the White Sox are by home run, and they're facing a pitcher too. I'm not a big believer in a former Brave, Michael Sirocco. I expect him who to like I expect the Diamondbacks to regress here as well. Their starting pitching has not been what it's supposed to be. Besides like Zach Allen so often, we saw Merrill Kelly get absolutely rocked. To the last time Soroka pitch was against the Blue Jays, and he made a 7 innings, and before that he made a 5.2 innings. But he is susceptible to the long ball. And I personally like his I like his under and outs here at under 16 and a half and minus 130. I just think the White Sox are hot. They're in a pretty favorable ballpark to hit home runs because most of their hitters there have massive power that hit home runs, and they usually pull. You don't want to hit straight away because the center is very hard to do. But I mean, you have Munetaka has been balling, Colson's been balling, Meredith's been balling, and I just don't see much in the underlying metrics with Sirocco. He usually gets hit up. I know that Torey Lovello may want him to go 6, but I just don't see it happening personally. I know, especially after what happened yesterday, and they used like 4 different relievers. But the problem is they have the Diamondbacks have no lefties in their bullpen. So who the White Sox dominate against is righties. So, and Michael Soroka is, of course, a righty as well, too. And we saw them dominate a lefty, which they usually don't do. So I think Diamondbacks are in big trouble, not to lose the game necessarily because White Sox pitching is bad, but I just don't trust their pitching, and the pitching I think is going to get killed again.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Diamondbacks certainly have troubles in the bullpen, and Michael Soroka. What's interesting here is his whiff rate's down at 23.3%, but his strikeouts over 30%, and he has a really low walk rate at 6.5%, but everything else is terrible. So if he is locating his pitches and getting strikeouts early, maybe he can have a good game out. But the contact metrics, 16.1% barrel rate to 48.2% hard hit rate makes him really hard to trust here. I like your play a lot. And honestly, if you're going to go against a bullpen, Diamondbacks bullpen's not a bad one to fade.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm probably going to put like 0.75 units on Soroka under 16.5 because I don't know if Lavelle is just going to, leave him in to die, as I would say, and stuff. But I don't think he will. In that case, usually likes to take care of his starters. I guess the only thing from metrics wise that, he's made at least 5 innings each time. But this White Sox team has been dominating starting pitching. I don't think in the last 10 games, I don't think a starting pitcher has pitched 5.2 innings or more against them. So their offense is rolling. Their biggest issue is pitching. But my last play that I have I was looking at Scooble, but 18.5 outs always scare me. But I was going to do like a first 5 thing for the Tigers thing, but I'm just going to tell your Tigers play for that. So my other play is we'll go to the Padres Rockies game. The Padres offense just hasn't been great overall, and their Vegas is giving the Padres the Rockies kind of respect. We saw yesterday the Rockies beat them. They're facing Ryan Feltner, and Ryan Feltner underlying metrics are not great. He gets hard hit a lot. He has kind of like a low riff rate. He does get deep into games because he usually doesn't walk batters. He usually pitches in the strike zone. But they had Sugano go 5.2 innings yesterday, so I'm assuming they won't be afraid to use the bullpen. They won 8-2, but I think anytime you can get a Rocky starting pitcher for under 15.5 at minus 140 or better, this at minus 140, I always like to take it. For Sugano, it was 14.5. Glad I didn't take it. But yeah, give me Ryan Filtner under 15.5. They faced actually Ryan Filtner a couple weeks ago, and they knocked him around. I think Ryan Filtner only made it like 3.2 innings against them. So they see him well, and they're in Coors Field with decent conditions. So give me Filtner under 15.5 outs.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't like either starting pitcher here. I do lean under in the game overall, but that's just because of a lack of offense. That doesn't mean that I like the starting pitchers. So I'm definitely on board with that, man.
Yep, and that's it besides my home run play that I have because there's only 9 games on the slate. So, and then there's some other pitchers. I was looking at some strikeout lines, but there's not really big strikeout guys that are coming on. I was looking at Cam Schlittler's outs as a possibility or strikeouts at 6.5, but that's one of those where I'm going to watch the game to see how Cam Schlittler comes out.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play. I also noticed that I didn't play the first 5 line. I played the full game line. I love Schlittler. I'm also waiting for that negative regression. Hopefully it never comes, but I definitely can see, Boston's not a no-name team. I think they're going to try to get it together just like the Dodgers are going to get it together against your Giants today. Prince, do you have any plays on the diamond today?
Excuse me. No, I don't. Nothing official. Just a home run sprinkle.
All right, let's get into it, baby. I'm excited for my pick today.
All right. Yeah, I'll get us started here. So for me, guys, today we're gonna go with Adolis Garcia from your local Philadelphia team here. We'll sprinkle him, at plus 417, taking on the Cubs. What do you think about that? Drew, I'll ask you. Stern might be busy.
Oh yeah, definitely. So something I will say about Edward Cabrera is when it comes to like giving up home runs, he doesn't give as much because he's a sinker ball kind of pitcher. But Adolis Garcia, of course, has that kind of power. I don't believe that Edward Cabrera has faced Adolis Garcia as well. I think we're still waiting on Adolis Garcia's bat, so I can definitely expect positive regression for him because the people that have been hitting home runs were mainly just been Kyle Schwarber and Harper. So I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm expecting some positive regression from him at some way. He's only got 2 homers on the season so far, so I'm expecting that to improve at some point. So why not against the Cubs? Let's see if it happens tonight.
Yeah. So
yeah,
by the way, on your play, Edward Cabrera is a really interesting pitcher for me. I do expect positive regression at some point, but the fact of the matter is he's missing a lot of pitches. And batters are getting really solid contact against him. He has an 11.1% barrel rate. The number that's concerning and why I like your play is he has a 31.7% line drive rate. And in a stadium like the Cubs and a weather that we're getting there, pretty sure that that's going to be important to hitting one out of the park.
Awesome. Love it. All right, Drew, and then what do you got for us today for your home run sprinkle?
Oh, I can let Stern go first. I'm still checking this real quick.
All right, give me Ben Rice. Now, this guy I tried to bet him a few times now, but I haven't really had the opportunity because he keeps getting platoon split, which I personally very much disagree with. But Ben Rice is having quite the season. He has a 22.2% barrel rate. He is second in the lineup next to, of course, Aaron Judge. And then he has a 64.4% hard hit rate, which is actually leading the team. So if you're going to give me a number against, and I didn't know who was pitching last night when I made this pick, but it doesn't really matter. I got him at plus 525 to hit a home run with weather blowing out in a good home run hitting stadium in Boston against like a really young pitcher. I absolutely love this play.
Awesome. Yep, love it. All right, Drew, you ready to give your pick out?
Yeah, I am. Perfect. Let me see this. I'm double checking this because I had a pick, but I'm going to double check the weather here. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. I like this a lot. Let's go to the Nationals game. The weather it's only 5.8 miles per hour blowing kind of in from center field. 5.8 miles doesn't really do much. Personally, usually it's 10 or more. This is going to be 77 degrees, 50% humidity. Ball is going to travel. Nationals ballpark. You know what? Give me Mr. Dad Strength. Michael Harris. Ever since he came back And we all know he's a very talented player at the end of the day. But ever since he came back from the birth of his child, he's been absolutely raking the ball. He's a very young player. Won Rookie of the Year, of course, in 2023, and Baldwin got it in 2025. And he's found his swing again. Plus 550, hit 2 home runs yesterday. People expect negative regression. Something I always learned is that, hey, just because someone hit a home run one day doesn't mean they can't do the next. Every game is a different game. So I like anytime I can get Michael Harris at plus 550 now. The Terriers on. He's had 6 home runs this year so far. Had 2 yesterday in the game before. I expect him to hit another one against Kay Cavalli, who doesn't really have impressive numbers in my mind. He's never faced Kay Cavalli, but I always like Michael Harris when it comes to this spot because now he's in the 6th spot. And something about Kay Cavalli is that I like a lot is he's right-handed, and Michael Harris for sure is right-handed pitching. With that kind of weather, looking at it now, I love it even more. So when it's that hot and that humid, the ball is going to travel, and especially to the right field. The right field is like the shortest area. So yeah,
This was my number 2 pick on my model for value.
let's go.
Yeah. Absolutely love this play, man.
Yeah, and Mr. Dad Strength. Anytime you can use Dad Strength as your foundation for power hitting, I love it. So I'm on it. It sounds like a great play. And all right, let's move on here. That'll close up the baseball portion of the show. We'll move on to the NHL. We've got playoffs in action tonight on the ice. I'll go ahead and start us off, and then Drew, I'll pass it over to you, see if you got anything. And then Stern, I know you're a little bit preoccupied, but feel free to jump in at any point if you have any takes, opinions, thoughts, or anything.
I got to play in both the NHL and the NBA, so yeah, definitely come back to me. I'm still here.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. So for the NHL tonight for me, guys, just one play for me. I'm looking at the Avalanche shaking on the Kings. I'm expecting at some point the Avalanche offense to wake up. I know the Kings have been shutting them down here in the first 2 games. I don't think that's going to be consistent, though. The Avalanche are just too good offensively for this to continue, these low-scoring games. So I would lean towards a total over for the Avalanche. Again, I think positive regression is due for them. Positive regression. Yeah, that's the way to say it.
That's what I say.
Right? Yeah, positive. Yeah, I know. It always confuses me because it's like a contradictory statement, like a regression. Can it be positive? If it's a regression, wouldn't it be positive progression? But I don't know. I'll just go with positive regression. But in any case, I'm expecting them to wake up offensively at some point. So the way I landed on tonight's bet, guys, I was looking at the -1.5 for the Avalanche. It was like plus 160-ish. But I'm just going to play it a little bit safer. I'll take them on the 60-minute money line, plus 105. I believe is the value on that. Yeah, plus 105 for the Avalanche on the 60-minute money line. I'm expecting regression at the same time from the Kings here. I don't think they're going to be able to hold down the Avalanche forever. At some point, the Avalanche are going to be able to score, and the Kings have struggled to score all season. The Avalanche, number 1 defensive team in the league. So I'm expecting the Avalanche to win by margin at some point. I think it could be tonight. But to play it safe, I'll just take them on the 60-minute money line, plus 105. Stern, I'll pass it to you if you're available. What are your thoughts on that? And you got what plays do you have? Because that's all for me.
This was the second strongest play on my model. I like it a lot, and I'm happy that I get to play it now with you.
Awesome. I love that.
You're right. I expect positive regression offensively, and I don't expect LA to be able to keep up this defensive battles that they've been able to keep up so far.
Yeah, it seems inevitable, right? It's like the dam is going to break at some point. The Avalanche there's just too much of a sample size of them being offensively potent that the Kings are not going to be able to hold them down much longer. So glad you're with me on that. What plays do you have, Stern, for the NHL tonight?
I am actually going to be fading a sports line expert, which always makes me nervous. But you know what? When I have a play, and I have to just kind of go with it. I'm going to take the Carolina Hurricanes. They're going at home up to 0, I believe. This is really just the Hurricanes being better and healthier than the Senators, who are, I think, getting unfair love just because they're home. I don't think the Carolina Hurricanes should be underdogs at plus 105. So I took this at a half a unit. I think this is going to be similar to what we saw in Philadelphia last night. And I think that the Hurricanes should be rightfully favored. If I get a chance to hedge, I might want to do that live. This is a play on value, straight up. You're going to give me a full game money line at plus money on the team that is better on almost every single underlying metric, except for maybe goalie just a little bit. Got to give me that team.
You know, it's funny. I was really looking at that game closely. I was on the fence about it, but now that you're seem pretty confident in it, I'm going to go ahead and play that now. So you just pushed me
So
over. You pushed me over the fence on that one. Thanks for that. And
full
I'm tailing it.
disclosure, full disclosure, Tom Casale is on the opposite side of this play.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
still
was.
like it.
Yeah, I was this close to making it an official play. Still, you just pushed me over. I'm still gonna just stick with my one official play, but I'm definitely gonna play that one now privately. So love it. All right. Anything else on the ice before we move over to Drew?
Nope. I mean, there's just really one other game that I thought was really interesting here today. But Drew, do you have anything on? Yeah, just pass it to Drew.
Yeah, I'll just say this real quick. I was going to do something similar to what you did, Prince. So I'll just stick with like your play, like kind of like the over, because I don't expect another 2-1 game. I think the total game will probably go over, and I expect the Avalanche to score more goals too. So yeah.
Yep, awesome. I think we're all three of us are in lockstep on that. We're expecting the what would you say the sticks to wake up here. I don't know how you terminology what terminology you use in hockey. You say you want the bats to wake up in baseball. What do you say in hockey? The puck to warm up. I don't know. What do you?
Oh, you usually I say just the offense to wake up for hockey.
Okay, yeah, I guess so, right? There's no inside lingo you can use for hockey, but in any case, we're expecting the offense to get it going here for the Avalanche. So cool, glad to see we're all three on the same page with that. All right, next up, let's go ahead. I'm gonna move over to soccer real quick and run through that. We only got a couple games on the pitch, and then we'll end it with basketball here in the NBA playoffs. For me, guys, in soccer, I'm just gonna run through these picks real quick. Motion, Drew, you guys can have a seat and sit this one out for a few minutes. We're looking at the Iceland division here. Iceland Abesta Dildin is what it's called. It might be called the Ursvalidlead. I know I'm butchering those names big time, but it's the only Iceland league in action today. And I'm looking at a two-pick parlay here. We're looking at the matchup between, and these names are very hard to pronounce, Valor taking on Hafnarfjordur. I'm looking at over 2.5 goals in that one. Then we're also looking at the other match here between Vikinger Reykjavik and Stjarnan. Again, over 2.5 goals in that one as well. Both of these are kicking off at 3 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. Both of these matchups, they're averaging over 3 goals per match in the head-to-head. And this league is averaging around 3.32 goals per match. It's one of the highest scoring leagues in the entire world. So I'm following the trends here, not only with both of these matchups, but with this league in general. You tend to see a lot of goals in this league and with these matchups. So if you parlay those together, you get that at minus 102. So again, Valor, Hafnarfjordur, over 2.5, plus Reykjavik, Stjarnan, over 2.5 goals. And that comes in at minus 102. That's all I have on the pitch today. There's a couple other games. There's some La Liga games I don't really feel comfortable with. We do have the German DFB Pokal semifinal between Stuttgart and Freiburg. Not really sure about that one. I don't really like betting cup games. If I can avoid them, I try to, especially after last night's Bayern Munich game, which we barely got 2 goals, and that one was 1-0 for most of the match. And Bayern Munich has been a goal scoring machine. So these cup games, you always tend to see some variance, and so I'll stay away from those. We have a lot of South American action tonight as well, which I'm not too familiar with South American leagues, so I don't like to bet it and get into things that I don't know a lot about. So yeah, just kind of a lighter slate today. I do have some more plays on the VIP channel though, so if any of you listeners are interested in getting more plays from me, of course, you guys can follow me on X at PrinceOfPicks10. There is a pinned post on my profile with details on how to sign up for the VIP channel. Full disclosure, guys, it's just $5 a month. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee, and I think you'll be happy for the investment that you make by joining the channel. So just some extra additional information there, but otherwise, as far as the show goes, that's going to be my only official play for the soccer landscape. Let's go ahead and move over to the NBA. Where we do have the playoffs in action. Tonight, we do have 3 games. I have a 2-pick parlay. I will get into that, and then I will pass it over to Stern and Drew and see what their thoughts are on my parlay and what they got for the NBA as well. For me tonight, guys, we're looking at the Cleveland Cavs taking on the Toronto Raptors. I like the Cavs here on the money line as a part of a 2-leg parlay. I think the Cavs are just significantly better than Toronto. I think they've shown it in the first 2 games, and I don't think a different venue is going to change that. I think Toronto is having a really difficult time defending Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. And I think this perimeter offense for Cleveland is just a little bit too much. It's a little bit overwhelming for Toronto, in my opinion. I don't think Toronto can keep up offensively with the Cavs. I don't think this game being in Toronto is going to make much of a difference. And I think the Twin Towers down low for Cleveland, they're really dominating the interior as well. So I think Cleveland has the edge, has the advantage in virtually every aspect of this game. I will take Cleveland Cavaliers on the money line tonight, and we're going to parlay that with the other game taking place tonight, the Knicks taking on the Hawks 1-1 series. This one's in Atlanta. I don't trust the Knicks. I've been very vocal about that. I still don't trust the Knicks. I think they proved that in game 2 after they choked away a fourth quarter lead. I just can't back the Knicks right now. I think they're too reliant on Jalen Brunson, in my opinion. I think they need to get Cat more involved. Cat, to me, is the X factor in this series. He is the only player that Atlanta has no answer for. And so if they can get Cat involved, I think the Knicks will be in a lot better position. But until they do that, Jalen Brunson, he's just dribbling the ball out, dribbling the air out of the ball too much. He needs to get his other guys involved. He's trying to play hero ball, in my opinion, and absolutely needs to get Cat involved. And Jalen Brunson is just a non-factor defensively as well. So Atlanta is just going after him after every possession on the defensive side. He can't keep up with anybody. He can't guard anyone. And so I don't think I don't think he's the one that's going to take them over the top. I think he's going to need some help, and it's his job as the point guard to get his other guys involved. So until he does that, until Mike Brown enforces that, I'm on Atlanta here, but I will take them on an alt spread. We're going to take the Hawks plus 11.5. So give me the Cavs money line parlayed with the Hawks plus 11.5, and you get that parlay plus 100. I think it's an outstanding value here. I do not expect the Knicks to even win this game, but if they do, there's no way they're going to win. Well, I can't say no way, but I'm betting against them winning in a blowout. So give me the Hawks plus 11.5, Cavs money line plus 100. Stern, your thoughts? If you're available.
I can dig it. I'm a little bit nervous about Cleveland because from everything that we've seen, we think that we know what they're going to do, and then they just blow up in your face. But I have to say that Toronto has not looked good or competitive in this series. So, well, I'll be tailing and I'll be watching.
Awesome. Yeah. And so for me, the way I look at it is I'm looking at what I've seen so far, right? Obviously things can change. And if Toronto's able to lock down the Cavs, that's something they haven't done yet. So it's kind of hard to project something that hasn't happened when there's not really a sample size to prove that it will happen. So that's kind of the way I approach it. But Drew, what are your thoughts on that? And do you have any plays for tonight?
I have no plays for tonight, but I like your plays in regards to this, especially the thing about the Hawks, right? Something I've noticed is like they didn't necessarily shoot well from 3 the last game, and along with the fact the Knicks shot more free throws. And personally, I expect I just expect the Knicks to choke, as we're used to seeing, unfortunately. And another neat fact about the Knicks, they're 22-19 on the road and 30-10 at home. So they do much better, I would say, at home in Madison Square Garden. And the Raptors, we the North, as they would say, they actually have a really good home court advantage. That's something I will note as well. Two. Oh, no, not the Raptors. I mean the Hawks. My bad. The Hawks have a good home court advantage. Sorry, I was looking at the Cavs Raptors, and I mixed up kind of Freudian slip there. But no, the Hawks have a great home court as well too, and that's something that I really like about this. I think Hawks fans can be excited for something again, as they were used to with Trae Young. I thought that when they traded Trae Young, they probably expected not to be great, but you know how loud the Hawks fans get. The Hawks fans also love to troll the Knicks, so I do not mind. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks go to 2-1 in this series.
Yeah, Hawks fans hate the Knicks. Atlanta and New York is very much a rivalry. Even without Trae Young there, they still hate each other. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Atlanta home court advantage tonight is going to be a little bit too much for the Knicks to overcome. But we'll see. I mean, the Knicks on paper should win this.
The
Knicks
Lions
have a better
telling,
roster, but the line is telling you, right? Exactly. The line is telling you everything you need to know.
The fact they're only plus 100, the Hawks are only plus 100 and not like plus like 2 something. It shows that Vegas knows something, So.
Yep, absolutely, 100% there with you. All right, cool. All right, go ahead, sir.
Let me get to my model play. It is on this Knicks-Hawks game, and this is really just from what I've seen personally as well. I'm going to take the Knicks Hawks under 216.5 at -112 for a half a unit. The first two games didn't go over, and I think that the path to victory is not a fast-paced, efficient game that I thought we were going to see in the series. So I'm just going to go with what has been cashing, and that's the under 216.5. And again, that's a model play from our friend Mike McClure.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, both teams are underrated defensively. Mine specifically Atlanta. I think they're very underrated defensively. So, yeah, at any point they can definitely both lock each other up and make it an unders game here. So I don't hate it. And I'll definitely be tailing it because you're playing it.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. So yeah, of
All right,
course. Always.
Let me recap my picks so I can go take care of my kids, which have been waiting very
Yes.
patiently watching Scooby-Doo in the next room.
Yes, of course.
All right.
I'm going to ask them for a pick, but I know they're a little distracted right now. So maybe next time.
Knicks Hawks under 216.5 -112. Carolina Hurricanes money line +105. Those are both half unit plays. Then my full unit MLB plays: Pirates Rangers first three under 2.5 at -115. Brewers Tigers first three under 2.5 -150. A 2-leg +178 parlay with the Dodgers and the Yankees. And then of course my home run sprinkle, Ben Rice at +540. I'm pretty sure. I have to check that. But anyway, thank you so much for letting me kind of join and ditch a little bit. Have a great rest of your show, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Anytime, of course. We always appreciate it. All right, cool. Drew, before we get out of here, any thoughts on the NFL draft tonight
Oh
before
yeah,
we recap our plays?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
glad
go
you
ahead.
mentioned that. Perfect, because you reminded me. Because I was looking forward to definitely talking about that. My thoughts are: I expect us personally to see a decent amount of trades. Maybe not like big trades up, but I can see quite a bit of teams trading back in this draft and stuff. Like you may see teams like we've seen it more often than not, where teams will see, hey, the player we want, I know we can get at this spot. So let's trade back and get some fourth or fifth round picks. A team I can definitely see in that. The Giants. The Giants have the fifth and 10th pick. I think the Giants personally. I have somebody who I know. I have multiple people I know who are big Giants fans, and I think they draft Caleb Downs at 5. I don't think it's Jeremiah Love. I think the Titans might do that. And then at 10, I feel like they would want to get like Peter Woods or something. But Peter Woods will be there probably in up to like 18 or something if you look at it. So I expect the Giants to get a lot of draft capital with that number 10 pick. It would be an amazing flip. So they traded Dexter Lawrence for that number 10 pick, and I expect them, in my opinion, which they should do, is trade back. And if you trade back to all the listeners just from the 10th pick, moving up from like a team wanted to move up from 12 to 10, that takes like a third or fourth round pick sometimes. And if you can collect those, that's always valuable because you can find gems there. You can trade up to, or you can combine those to get like a second round pick or something. So I expect, of course, Mendoza to go 1. I'm looking forward to that. The most interesting thing is going to be, hey, what defensive player does the Jets get? Because if you think about it, the Jets basically have the number 1 pick because we already know who the Raiders are getting in Mendoza, and I'm a big fan of Mendoza. But the Jets, I've talked to people. It's either Arvell Reese or David Bailey, probably. I'm a big fan of David Bailey. I think he's the best pure pass rusher in the draft, but Ruben Bain has probably the highest ceiling. And then Arvell Reese is a really good player as well, too, of course, Ohio State. In my opinion, I think if you make David Bailey is probably the most is probably the most polished, while Arvell Reese is very athletic, very raw, but he is pro ready. But he can work on his techniques in some way. As for my Niners, I would say who I want us to pick at 27. He's a very underrated pass rusher because he had an unwhelmed season this last year. Is TJ Parker for Clemson. He's 6'3", 260. He has one of the best one-hand moves you'll ever see coming into a draft. Where he can just push people and they can just move. And I think Bosa can develop him. So that's for my team, and that's what I expect kind of in the top 10. If you have any questions for me, what I think, you can let me know, Prince.
Yeah. So first of all, to your point of moving from 12 to 10 in the draft, I have personal experience with it with the Bears. I believe that's what we did when we got Justin Fields. And unfortunately, that didn't work out. So you really got to know what you're doing, and it's a big risk because we gave up a lot as well. Justin
Same
went
with
from 12 to
Trubisky with the
10. So
Niners, like 4-3.
And I was just about to say that. My second point was moving up from 3 to 2 to get Trubisky. Both of these were under previous management, Ryan Pace, which thank God he's gone. But yeah, he couldn't draft a quarterback to save his life. And yeah, we gave up the farm just to move him from 3 to 2 to get Mitch Trubisky. Of all people, when we could have had Patrick Mahomes, but we'll let that go because now we got Caleb Williams, so we're good. But in any case, yeah, it's interesting to see these teams move up and down in the draft on how much collateral that they have to give up. I'm curious what your thoughts are because you said you expect the Giants to trade at number 5 to get Caleb Downs. I'm looking at DraftKings right now, and it looks like
Oh no,
if you're looking at
they
the
have
top
the
five.
5 pick. I expect them to trade their 10th pick, like up to move up to get the player they want. Yeah.
Okay, so they have the 10th pick right now, but then they would move
No,
up to
no.
the
So they
fifth pick
have the 5th
after.
pick and they have the 10th pick because they
Okay,
got the 10th pick from
okay,
trading Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals. So they have 2 top 10
okay. So
picks.
where do you think they draft Caleb Downs?
5. I think they're going to draft him at
Okay,
5.
okay. Okay, so my question to you is, if I'm looking at DraftKings, it looks like to be drafted top 5, Caleb Downs right now is plus 350. He's plus money, plus 350 to go in the top 5. How would you feel about that?
Oh.
Would you support that then? I guess
Oh
right.
yeah, I would say because the thing is, I think he is. You can make an argument he is the best overall defensive player in the draft, just basically what he brings to the table. I know edge rushers are important, but he's an amazing safety, and he's probably like the best overall for like a pound for pound, probably in the draft. And I think I would say I would have wanted at least like plus 500, but plus 350 is telling that Vegas is doing that because whenever I see something plus 5 sub plus 500 for kind of like like a possible fringe top 5 pick, that means they're hearing stuff that hey, he's probably he is not going to be guaranteed a top 5 pick, but they've been hearing stuff from organizations that they're interested in picking him top 5, right? So I think the 2 teams that they fear probably picking him personally is because of course I don't think the Raiders pick him. I don't necessarily think the Jets pick him at number 2 because they can't pass up Arvil Reese or David Bailey. And I don't see the Cardinals picking him. I think the Cardinals possibly draft an offensive lineman. And then I think it's the Titans and Giants are the ones that would take him, if anything, because you have Robert Saleh, who will probably pick Jeremiah Love, or he'll pick Caleb Downs, but he's a defensive minded coach. And then you have the Giants, who I think really need a safety.
Yeah, I think that's a really good analysis. And I only look at DraftKings, so there might be other books. They may have him at around plus 500. So I guess if you guys can see Caleb Downs around plus 500 as a top 5 pick, you may want to put a sprinkle on that, or maybe even put a half unit or a quarter unit or something on that. And then I'm just trying to see here. You probably know more about these college football prospects than I do. Looking at the top 10 draft to see if we can get any value anywhere here. I'm probably going to butcher this name. Ola Vega Loan is plus 475. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. I might be completely butchering his name, or you don't even know who I'm talking about. The other guy, Caden Proctor, plus 550. Monroe Freeling, plus 600. Makai Lemon, plus 650. Any value that you see here on a top 10 pick?
Yeah.
Or have you
Oh
not
yeah,
had a chance to
yeah.
look
I
at it
have looked at
really?
it because the thing that's very interesting is Vegas is basically saying that Caleb Downs is going to be a top 10 pick because he's tied for the second best odds, being kind of like a top 10 pick. I think he's minus 750 to be a top 10, but like you said, he's plus 350, top 5. Let me double check. Caleb Downs is plus 300 on Fanatics, and I think he'll keep going down. So plus 350 isn't bad value. But in terms of sleepers, when it comes to I think top 10 if like you want to pick like a top 10 pick because there's always one top 10 pick where you're like why they pick them there and they end up working out because top 10 picks are never chalk, top 5 picks are sometimes, and I think personally one that I wouldn't be surprised that we see that could be a top 10 pick or some people like him as the best receiver, but Makai Lemon is a sleeper at plus 900.
Okay, and where you're getting that plus 900 at? Because I
Fanatics.
see 650 on DraftKings. Fanatics. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome.
Or
All
Caden
right, I'll
Proctor is
definitely put
another
a
one,
sprinkle
possibly.
on
I
there.
could see them drafting him. I don't think he's necessarily the best lineman in the draft. That other guy, I think it was the guy that you said. Uh, The
The hard name
Yeah,
to
I
pronounce.
think he's probably
Yeah.
the best. But
Okay.
yeah, like there's a lot of good opportunities. I would say it's always hard to predict. Of course, it's always hard to predict. Of course, like an exact pick because if you wanted, so you know what's funny. So something I will say, guys, if this is something I want to tell the listeners, uh, double check please to make sure that you look to see, like, for example, if you want to say, oh, I want to predict the fifth overall pick, right? And then you see right now, Caleb Downs is plus 275 of the fifth overall pick, but his top five, him being a top five pick, is plus 300. So that's Vegas trying to steal your money at the end of the day. They're trying to get extra money because, like, why wouldn't you, like, do top five when it's better odds versus the fifth overall pick? Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I think you're spot on with that, and that's definitely something that the listeners want to pay attention
Yeah.
to, for sure. And then one more here that I'm looking at. We got over unders as well, like in terms of players in their draft position. Since we're talking about Caleb Downs, again, I'm just looking at DraftKings right now, but you can get Caleb Downs under 9.5. So basically, to be drafted anywhere from obviously not one, but theoretically 1 through 9. And it's at minus 125.
Minus 115
Is that good
on
value?
Fanatics.
Okay, there you go. So is that good value in your opinion? That's what you would probably play.
Yeah,
Is that right?
this is very confusing to me because it says Caleb Downs to be a top 10 pick is minus 750, but him that's interesting. Yeah, so they're like it's minus 750, but for him to be picked 1 through 9, basically that's what under 9.5 means, is minus 115. So they're basically saying that there's only like the 10th team, team that has the 10th overall pick is in need of a safety if he falls there. So I think under 9.5, good point. I'm looking at it right now. That's a very good value for Caleb Downs. I don't think he falls out of the top 9.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, I'll definitely be putting a small wager on that as well. Okay, cool. Anything else for the NFL draft tonight? Before we recap our
No, the only
players.
thing I would say is wouldn't be surprised if we see 3 Buckeyes in the top 10 between Alvaro Reese, Sonny Styles. Actually, we could see 4. We could see Alvaro Reese, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, and Caleb Downs. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're always loaded, right? They always have a roster full of NFL guys ready to go. It's just a factory over there on Buckeye Nation. So I'm sure we're going to expect that again
All
tonight.
right.
All
Yeah.
right, go ahead and go ahead and recap
Yeah,
your players.
definitely. Everybody, I think the NFL draft's on ESPN. Tune in. I think it's like 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna cut my plays. Kind of a shorter slate. I have Michael Sirocco under 16.5 outs at minus 130. Ryan Feltner under 15.5 outs at minus 140. Sprinkle Michael Harris home run at plus 550.
Awesome. All right, and then for me, we are looking at we're going on the pitch here. One parlay here in the Iceland division. We're looking at Valor Hafnarf Jordor over 2.5, with Reykjavik Starnen over 2.5 goals. That comes at minus 102. Then we're going to the NBA. Give it the Cavs on the money line. Parlayed with the Hawks plus 11.5. That comes in at plus 100. On the ice tonight in the NHL playoffs, I will take the Colorado Avalanche on the 60-minute money line at plus 105. Then finally for me in baseball, give me Adolis Garcia for a home run sprinkle against the Cubs here at plus 417. For Drew DeLucchi and SternBets, I am the Prince of Picks. This has been the Only Bet Sports Podcast Thursday edition. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursdays. Enjoy the NFL draft tonight. Enjoy all the NBA, NHL, and MLB action and whatever other sports you got on the slate tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, same time, same place, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, over on the all-new Only Bets Podcast website over on X/Twitter. And again, we are looking for co-hosts and contributors. So if any of you are out there, you love to talk about sports, you love to bet on sports, come join us. We'd be happy to have your opinions, thoughts, analysis, and we accept all requests to talk in. So join us 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. We'd love to have you. Replays available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever it is that you get your podcasts. With that being said, Drew DeLucchi, SternBets, I'm Prince of Picks. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. Appreciate all your support, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks.